Medjugorje alert, a warning for our time's greetings in the name of Jesus, and welcome to the light of heaven. We are truly grateful that you've joined us today. May your day be filled with the peace and grace of Christ. As we navigate through these challenging and unpredictable times, the teachings of the Virgin Mary take on even greater significance. Her messages offer profound guidance and serve as a source of spiritual strength, especially when the world around us seems uncertain. In this post, we'll explore 5 key themes from her messages, each providing us with essential tools to face adversity with faith, courage, and resilience. These teachings are not just words to be heard, but are actions to be lived, shaping our responses to the trials we face daily. One of the most pressing themes in the Virgin Mary's messages is the crucial role of the elderly in our lives. In a world increasingly focused on youth, technology, and instant gratification, it's easy to overlook the wisdom and experience of our older generations. However, the Virgin Mary calls us to recognize and value their spiritual insights and life lessons. The elderly are the keepers of divine wisdom, having lived through numerous trials and tribulations, each of which has deepened their understanding of faith, love, and perseverance. Their stories are not just memories, they are treasures of lived faith. From them, we learn about resilience in the face of hardship, the importance of community, and the beauty of love that endures through time. However, in a culture where youth and material wealth are often seen as the highest aspirations, many older people experience feelings of neglect or isolation. This is a tragic reality, as the richness of their lived experiences is often brushed aside. The Virgin Mary, in her compassion, urges us to reverse this trend. She calls on us to actively seek the wisdom of our elders, to listen to their stories, and to honor their journeys. These individuals offer us timeless lessons, often grounded in deep spiritual understanding that our fast-paced, technology-driven society can easily overlook. They are not merely the older generation, they are the living embodiment of God's grace, and their lives testify to His providence through the ages. Another key element of the Virgin Mary's message concerns the dark times humanity may face in the future: natural disasters, social unrest, and a deepening spiritual crisis. While such predictions may feel daunting, Mary encourages us to approach these challenges with a sense of preparedness, not just in a practical sense, but also mentally and emotionally. We live in a time where uncertainty looms large. Whether it's the effects of climate change, political instability, or a rise in societal division, many of us feel a creeping sense of fear and helplessness. Yet, rather than surrendering to despair, the Virgin Mary's message reminds us to be spiritually strong, grounded in prayer, and fortified by the love of Christ. In times of crisis, we are called to remain steadfast in our faith, ready to act with courage and compassion, even when the world around us feels unstable. Her call to readiness is not just about physical survival, but about preparing our hearts. She urges us to remain vigilant in prayer, deepen our trust in God, and be proactive in nurturing our spiritual life. By doing so, we not only strengthen ourselves, but also become beacons of hope for others, offering light in the darkness. As we face the challenges ahead, both personal and global, let us take to heart the wisdom of the Virgin Mary. Let us cherish and respect the elderly, honoring their role as bearers of divine wisdom. Let us also prepare our hearts for the difficulties that may arise, staying rooted in our faith and trust in God's plan. Through prayer, resilience, and community, we can navigate the stormy waters of life with hope and peace. May we live each day inspired by the teachings of the Virgin Mary, allowing her guidance to strengthen us as we move forward. What are your thoughts on her messages? How do you feel about the importance of the elderly in your own life? Share your reflections, and remember to subscribe for more insights and inspiration. Preparing for the challenges ahead involves more than just securing physical provisions. It requires the strengthening of our spiritual foundation. The Virgin Mary's message is clear. Our souls need preparation for the trials we may face, and this spiritual readiness is forged through prayer, faith, and repentance. When we turn to God, we invite His power and mercy into our lives, offering us sanctuary in times of trouble. It is this deep connection with God that fortifies us, helping us endure and overcome any hardships that come our way. While it may be impossible to shield ourselves completely from physical dangers, spiritual security becomes our greatest defense. The Virgin Mary assures us that those who remain rooted in faith will experience a sense of security and peace that transcends the physical realm. In a world full of uncertainty and turmoil, spiritual readiness provides an inner resilience against the negativity and hopelessness that can otherwise infiltrate our hearts. Focusing on God and aligning ourselves with His steadfast love offers consolation and hope, even in the darkest of times. A central aspect of the Virgin Mary's message is the transformative power of prayer, particularly the Rosary. She emphasizes that this simple yet powerful prayer is a shield against evil and a source of profound inner peace. Each prayer, each mystery we contemplate, creates a welcoming space for God to enter our lives, transforming our situations and hearts. When prayed with unwavering faith, the Rosary acts as a spiritual armor, safeguarding us from life's challenges. Prayer becomes not just a way to seek comfort, but a vital line of defense against the chaos and confusion that surrounds us, offering strength and clarity when we need it most. The Virgin Mary also encourages families to pray together, especially with the Rosary, as this practice fosters love and unity. In a world where spiritual values are increasingly overshadowed by materialism, praying as a family strengthens our spiritual bonds and protects us from the external forces that threaten to erode our faith. Through shared prayer, families can experience the peace of God's presence, feel more connected, and build a collective resilience against life's challenges. The Virgin Mary assures us that those who pray with sincerity will receive protection, guidance, and blessings, especially for their homes. Her message also calls for a return to the core spiritual principles that our modern world often neglects. Society frequently prioritizes fleeting pleasures and material gain, causing many to lose sight of the deeper, more lasting gifts that God offers: peace, purity, and joy. The relentless pursuit of materialism can distract us from the timeless truths that nourish our spiritual well-being. The Virgin Mary urges us to reflect on our lives. Are we truly open to receiving the light of divine truth? Are we modeling our lives after those who embody humility, love, and selfless service rather than seeking fame or power? In times of crisis, it is these acts of love and sacrifice that shine the brightest. The Virgin Mary calls us to cultivate a love that reflects Christ's love for us, a love that serves others selflessly, even in the face of hardship. Through contemplation and reflection on our hearts, we are reminded to return to these spiritual roots, embracing the timeless values of faith, love, and service as we navigate the uncertainties of the future. By nurturing a love like this, we strengthen our spiritual foundation and prepare ourselves for whatever challenges lie ahead. In today's fast-paced, often chaotic world, it is easy to lose sight of what truly brings peace to our hearts and fulfillment to our lives. The Virgin Mary's message calls us to reconnect with the foundational principles of our faith, which are the key to restoring our sense of purpose and inner serenity. By embracing Christ's teachings, principles of chastity, sincere love, virtue, kindness, and charity, we are reminded of the simple yet profound path that leads to true happiness and peace. Christ's message has always been one of love, self-sacrifice, and purity of heart. The Virgin Mary urges us to seek these qualities, setting ourselves apart from the distractions and temptations of the world that pull us away from our spiritual journey. In a society filled with fleeting pleasures and superficial desires, it is easy to forget what brings lasting fulfillment. Yet, the true peace that we seek can only be found through a deep and unwavering relationship with God. The call to conversion, to return to God with a humble and contrite heart, is more vital than ever. Through Christ, we find our way back to true peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to remain steadfast, grounded, and secure in God's love, regardless of the circumstances. When we focus on God and allow Him to fill our hearts, we experience a transformation that restores our spirit and gives us a deeper sense of contentment. The Virgin Mary also highlights the crucial importance of maintaining harmony within the family, especially during turbulent times. As we face trials and uncertainties, our families can become our greatest source of strength and refuge. The home, a place where love and support are meant to flourish, becomes a sanctuary when we keep it grounded in prayer and unity. Families who come together in prayer, especially those who make the Rosary a central part of their spiritual practice, are blessed with protection and grace. The strength of a family united in prayer cannot be underestimated. It is a force that nurtures faith, fosters peace, and ensures that, even in the darkest of times, we are not alone. One of the key messages the Virgin Mary delivers is the responsibility we have to care for our elderly loved ones. In many cultures, the elderly are often marginalized or neglected, but Mary reminds us of their invaluable role in our lives. Our elders are the keepers of wisdom, faith, and experience. They have weathered storms and learned life's most profound lessons. By honoring and caring for them, we not only serve them, but we serve Christ Himself, who resides in them. Jesus has a special place in His heart for the elderly, understanding their vulnerability and deep needs. As children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, it is our sacred duty to offer them love, respect, and companionship. The Virgin Mary reassures us that families who take the time to care for their elderly will be especially blessed by God. These families will receive divine protection, and their relationships will be strengthened. The love and respect shown to the elderly will ripple through the family, creating an environment of deep affection and unity. Such families will be able to withstand the storms of life, drawing strength from one another and from God. In times of trial, when fear and anxiety threaten to take hold, our families, grounded in love and prayer, can become our sanctuary. It is within the embrace of our families that we can find the courage to face adversity and the peace to endure difficult moments. The Virgin Mary's message calls us to turn our homes into places of prayer and refuge, where God's love can be felt in every room and in every heart. In conclusion, the message of the Virgin Mary is not just a warning, but an invitation to deepen our faith, renew our families, and embrace the transformative power of prayer. She reminds us of the importance of caring for our elders, of uniting in prayer, and of returning to the core values of our faith, love, humility, and service. These principles, when embraced, offer us a spiritual refuge that can withstand any storm. As we prepare for the challenges ahead, we are called to reflect on our hearts and our lives. Let us turn back to God, strengthen our bonds with our families, and put our trust in the power of prayer. The Virgin Mary offers us her protection and her maternal love as we navigate this spiritual journey. Under her mantle, we find comfort and guidance, and with her help, we can face the future with hope, courage, and unwavering faith in God's eternal love. Together, let us heed her call and prepare ourselves spiritually and emotionally for the journey ahead. May the stories of faith and love we share inspire and encourage one another as we walk this path together. Thank you for being a part of this sacred journey. Your presence and prayers are a blessing, and they help make this community of faith stronger.